Okay, this is 37th Street Radio and TV. We are out here, of course, hooking you up with the best of the best interviews. And today we have another special guest. Guest, please introduce yourself.
My name is Janice Iche, also known as DJ Iche. Yeah, I'm an artist, I'm a DJ, I'm a singer, songwriter, and also a music producer.
So I was just on Instagram, and of course I got to know you. And by your Instagram bio, it reads artist, DJ, producer, vocalist. So I just want to know what came first and if one thing inspired the other, or where did the inspiration start?
Which came first? I think vocalist came first because I started singing when I was very young. I started singing at like when I was like 6 years old or so. So, and like performing in church. So that's what came first. And I started performing when I was very young. And I had been doing it over the years. Even I got into the music industry as a singer songwriter. So I used to do lots of like vocal performances and stuff like that. So definitely the vocalist came first, and then probably artist, DJ and producer came they're the most recent. I started producing I started DJing and producing both in like August, September 2020. Yeah.
So like, let me ask you, so you identify as a DJ Iche. So does that mean that that is what you do most of the time?
I identify as Janice Iche. That's my artist name, and that's my brand name also. It's Janice Iche, but as Janice Iche, I'm an artist. Like I'm also in the in the art world, like painting and like performance art kind of thing, like gallery exhibitions kind of thing. And then that's also my artist name as a singer, songwriter, and producer. So, but then I also DJ, so my DJ name is DJ Iche. Yeah, the thing with me, I do all these things kind of equally. There isn't one that's like more than the other, really. I try to balance them well because they all serve different purposes in my life. Yeah.
You know, we come from a generation whereby it's usually like you do one thing, you are a doctor, you are a lawyer. So I want to know, like, how do you even get the courage to do all of these things?
I know I've been told so many times that I will fail because I've never picked one thing. But for me, it's because I gain fulfillment in my life by doing these different things. It gives me fulfillment that I require in my life. So I don't mind that I'm not going hard on one thing, you know. I like that I am doing these different things, and also everything I do, I feel like I am fulfilling, or I am filling up a space, a gap in the scene and in the industry. So everything has its role, you know, and I feel more fulfilled just being spread out like this. Yeah.
All over the years, we have seen growth of female DJs, and right now there are a number of you, but when it comes to...
Sorry to interrupt, but you asked me how I gain courage. For me, it's not about gaining courage. Actually, doing these things is what gives me the courage. Yeah. So it's just about knowing who you are and using your strengths in a way that makes you happy. Yeah.
Yeah. So just as I was asking before, we have all over the years, we have seen the growth of female DJs, and right now there are very many of you. But when it comes to music production, first, I think in Kenya you are the second female producer I've ever had. There is one producer, I think the third. So I I'm really wondering where this idea even came from. Is it because maybe you have said you are a vocalist, then you had the desire of producing your own music? How did that come about?
I know a couple of other female producers, but we're coming up now because now we finally have access to some resources through the internet, and maybe also some of us have gotten to a point in our lives where we can afford to invest in our music in a certain way, like buying equipment, a good laptop, you know, buying a MIDI keyboard and stuff like that. So it's just a combination of these things now that you're seeing. That's how you're seeing a lot more female whatevers. But yeah, sorry, what did you ask?
I asked how production came about.
Yes. It's exactly how you said it, because like I mentioned before, I started out in the music industry as a singer and songwriter. And my experience with male producers, I'm sorry, it's a no for me. I actually vowed to myself, I'm not going to do it again. Why would I? Anyway, I had to now look for the courage and gain the courage to start producing, because it's something I was never interested in, by the way. But as a woman working in this industry, I've been in very many positions where my music has been compromised and has been sat on for various reasons by male producers, various unknown reasons. So I wanted to gain that control for myself. I wanted to be able to control for myself when I want to release an album, you know, when I want to release a song. So now it depends on me because I'm the producer now. So that's why, yeah, for sure.
They usually say that it's really hard for females. So I really don't know, like, for you, what's your experience? Have you seen a couple of hardships that are only unique to females? How is it?
I don't know if it's unique to female, but it's a lot of women in the music industry and in the entertainment and creative industry go through this. Yes, I think this is a major thing. I'm actually a survivor of sexual assault in the industry myself. And it was an ordeal that changed my life, literally. And so in that case, yeah, I've seen hardship. But for me, even the fact that I'm still here making music, I'm still working in music, it's a, a, a testament of my relationship to music that was there before any of the industry. You know what I mean? Music already meant something to me before I entered the industry, before I started working with other people in music. You know what I mean? So for me, I had to really search for that relationship, and yeah, I'm luckily I found it again, and that's what has enabled me to continue working in music, because it's not easy working in this industry. But I love music so much, and it has done so much for me in my life, as much as it's understanding that the music itself is not what caused me harm, it's the industry, you know. The industry is what is reckless, but the music itself is still this, you know, it's still what it is. So yeah, for me, that's how I've continued being here, but it's definitely not easy. But I definitely wanted to mention that because it's a reality for many women in the industry.
Being a DJ and being a producer too, I want to know if you have ever experienced self-doubt and how you have dealt with that.
I mean, for me personally, I mean, it's not, I don't know why I don't experience much self-doubt. I experience other forms of resistance, but it's not self-doubt for me personally. It's either that, like, you know, frustration or impatience or, you know, other things. But I don't personally doubt myself and my capabilities. I think I work very hard to always remind myself who I am. And even when I don't remember, during those times I take some time off, and then come back to it when I am able to. But I don't really doubt what I can do as a DJ and as a producer. But I receive other forms of resistance, like other people doubting me, when you're in environments and where you have to work with other people and they don't believe in you like you believe in yourself. That's what frustrates me personally. So personally, I don't doubt myself, because I came into this with a talent already, and already like a passion. And for me, music was there before I even knew how I could work in it, how I could make a career of it, So I started figuring out how to make a career of it because I was already so good at it. And, that's why I chose to do it. That makes sense.
For a DJ, we know that you guys get revenue by doing stage shows sometimes, and for the DJs who can be on radio and TV, I want to know, like, you can tell guys about other revenue streams for DJs, because I also see other DJs going live, and I don't know how that goes when I don't know, because I think they are not receiving copyright strikes from YouTube. So I don't know how that goes. You can explain to us revenue sources as a DJ.
Actually, I only make money as a DJ from performing. Even as a musician, as an artist, it's mostly from performing that I make my money, and any possible is performing for me mostly. So I don't really make money much like off mixes. I'm not a commercial, I am a commercial DJ, but I'm not a mainstream DJ. I'm not like, because I do all these many things, while I'm not DJing, I'm working on my music, I'm doing all these other things. So I'm not really I'm depending on my gigs for money. That's how I make money personally. But it's because I'm kind of spread thin like this. So I do gigs in all these different aspects of my career as a singer-songwriter, as an artist, and as a DJ. So those are my different sources of income. But yeah, I'm not just only a DJ. I'm not doing all the things. But yeah, I see most DJs also, I think, I don't know, actually, I really don't know. But yeah, I do not know.
Yeah, you are also part of the a big event that was recently, and that was the Boiler Room Drill event. I want you to talk about how did that even come about?
Yeah, I was part of Boiler Room. It was amazing. Okay, so for me, it's been a journey. So when I decided I wanted to start DJing, I decided that I would play music by Africans, by Kenyans. I would play Kenyan music that's around me, I wanted to represent the music that I was hearing, that's being made around me. So that was the conscious decision that I made when I started DJing. So I released my first big mix, which I actually, for this mix, I reached out to the artists. And in this mix, actually, Brooklyn Boys and Diana Cods, who are also part of Boiler Room, I had reached out to them for their music to include in this mix, and they responded, and they sent me their music. So that was really dope that we got the gig together. It was such a nice moment. So yeah, I reached out to a bunch of artists and asked them to send me their music so I could create this mix. And some of them sent, some of them didn't respond. Some of them. But yeah, the ones who did, I ended up making the mix, and it did very well actually. It was heard by the right people. So yeah, from someone from Nyege Nyege, Hakuna Kulala label, they had that mix, and then they reached out to me to do a mixtape with them, a cassette, the mixtape. So I did a collaboration with them. It came out around a year after that first mix, DJ Iche's Nairobi Volume 1 mix. Nyege Nyege came out in December last year. So when that came out, it got lots of international traction. It was heard out there. The tape sold out in like the first few days. It was a big hit out there. So that's how Boiler Room heard of me. And that's how they reached out to me to be part of the gig. Yeah.
So do you do like strictly hip hop, or you are just a very diverse DJ?
No. I'm not a hip hop head at all, but I'm a Kenyan music head. Okay, that's what I am. I love Kenyan music. I love African music. I love music by my peers, people who are my age, younger than me, a bit older than me, making music. I love that. So that's the kind of music I'm playing. So whether it's hip hop, whether it's R&B, whether it's bongo, it's genge, it's whatever, I love it all. So yeah.
What are other opportunities or achievements that you are very proud of, apart from the Boiler Room event?
Wow, that's a good question. I just had another gig. It's also a good. I'm proud of it for my career because it was an art event where I showed like my video artwork, and I also performed music that I'm producing for my album. And yeah, it was good. It was a really good event. I'm proud of that too. I'm proud of all my releases. I don't know, man. Boiler Room is probably the biggest thing in my career at this point. I would say, because of the kind of impact it has had in my life directly. So yeah, I think I'm proud of these two events that I did during this last trip of mine, Nairobi.
From where you sit, I just also want to know, like, how you have experienced that at least everything, being a vocalist, being a DJ, being a producer. I want to know, like, what do you think we can change as an industry in order to compete globally?
Wow, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot to dismantle this. Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah.
It's a lot to but we can start with just inclusivity, and that means making things accessible to more people, more different kinds of people. That means giving opportunities to more people. And I'm talking opportunities of money, opportunities that will bring good impact into someone's life. Give those out, to more people. That's how this industry will grow, because it needs that kind of communal support that I think there's still so much more gatekeeping because people want to protect certain things, which is understandable, but just like share it more to people. You know what I mean? Share opportunities more to people. I think that's the best. And in those opportunities, they have to be safe for the people you are you are giving them to. Don't bring people into opportunities which are messy. It's a lot. I can't even start. There's a lot in this industry. But we can just start by making sure that our own place is clean. Fagia kwako, focus on that. Make sure your place is clean. You're doing your part. You're making sure your things are not messy. When you're interacting with other artists, your things are professional. You're not bringing people into things they will regret, because this industry is about working with other people. Everything is about working with other people. So, yeah.
As we are finishing up, you can maybe talk about your future projects. If you have an album coming out, if you have a major show, you can talk about that.
Yeah, I'm working on my album. I'm producing it and I'm mixing it. It's good so far. I'm hoping by the end of this year it will be out, but I'm not saying much. Since I'm doing everything, it's a bit, wow, it's a bit, yeah, it's a lot of work. So but that's the thing I want people to look out for. And yeah, other gigs, I post everything on my Instagram at Janice Iche. You can keep up with me there. Yeah.
What about you just giving an advice to guys who maybe are starting out in any field, youths who are starting out in any field, be it business, be it entertainment? You can just give them a word.
I would say believe in yourself more than anyone else believes in you. Believe in yourself more than anyone else believes in you, because you're the one who will get yourself to where you want to get to. And have the right intentions and the right goals, not empty goals. Have goals to elevate yourself and your family and your community and your future. Those kind of goals. So whatever you're doing, you do why you're doing it. So you won't do things just for the sake of clout or whatever. Do things that matter to you and your people. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, thank you so much for giving us your time. We are very grateful.
Thanks for having me.